way, and he was one of the reasons why Geneseo didn't score at least 3 times on that power play.
Yeah,
Zachary Vitt had 2 of his own.
Yeah, I was going to say on the 5-on-3 he did. He was really the best penalty killer for Buff State. I mean, obviously their guys are doing a heck of a job blocking shots and the like, but really great job for Kevin Carr overall.
Shots are 16-9 officially for the first period in favor of Geneseo. If you're launching 16 shots on goal per period, then your game plan's working just fine. Nick Horrigan didn't really have much of a challenge in the first period. All in all, great period for the Ice Knights. Everything they would hope for in the first period of a playoff game, and eventually shots towards the net. It'll crack. One thing, and it's hard to for the 5-on-3, you want to set up for a perfect shot because you have the space on the ice to do it. But the chaos and the puck thrown towards the net and the crashing the net that was so successful 5-on-5, they kind of got away from on both power plays that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But they still developed shots, if you know what I mean. Like, you saw it on the first power play.
Well, even on the
Sharpie standing there, pulling up a little bit and kind of forcing things where they didn't belong, as opposed to finding the lane and then jumping on it. The 5-on-3 much better because there's so much more space.
I was going to say the 5-on-3 I thought was really good. I mean, still 11 seconds left on that, but I thought they spent 1:50 in the Buff State zone. So I think they did a great job setting up. I just think Kevin Carr did a heck of a job. Even on that wheel play, you saw the first time they sent it to Zach Vitt. The second time, I think a real good play, a quick shot from Tyler Bricker, who at that point in the wheel would send it across to Zach Vitt for the one-timer. He sent a quick shot on that. As Kevin Carr was almost leaning right, pretty much everyone in the building was looking at Zach Vitt for the one-timer. Tyler Bricker takes a quick shot. And a real good job by Kevin Carr not to go post to post so quickly and to hang back that extra second.
And the other thing I liked on the second look of that 5-on-3, Sharpie slowed things down in the far corner. We see how Geneseo works at the top of the circles for the wheel play. With the second unit, they're willing to work from down low. It's a different look, it's a different wrinkle. And Sharpie with the delay was able to open things up for Stevie Collins up top. So the Ice Knights, a lot of different looks. And they're not looking at the schematic. They're not going straight by the book. They're looking for a feel, and that's what you need to do when you have a goaltender playing as well as Kevin Carr is. You have to make him think, too. And the Ice Knights, in the first 20 minutes, you come out for the second period, you don't change a thing.
Yeah, I think you come out the same way. Keep crashing because you're going to get one past Kevin Carr eventually.
Scoreless after 20, playoff hockey in Geneseo. Ice Knights and Bengals tied at 0. We'll go back to the Blake Studios. For intermission report, it's Matt Keller for the next 10 minutes or so. So, Matt, take it away, buddy.
All right, thanks a lot. Brian, Casey, Nate, Matt Keller here with Matt Nigro, and that was a very successful first period overall, I feel, for the Knights, despite the fact that it is a 0-0 tie still. But nonetheless, right away, what I like to look at is the shots on goal, and they were definitely in favor of the Knights, 16-9. And now, Matt, what did you see out there that really stuck out to you?
What saw to me is definitely our lack of penalties. I mean, we've seen that 3 times this period. Geneseo has gone on the power play and kept out of the box. And last game against Buff State, that was a very important factor as Geneseo was able to score twice on the power play against Buff State to put them at that 2-2 tie before that overtime play. So very good very good penalty killing by Buff State at the moment, though. Definitely strong goaltending, strong defense. We just need to keep on doing what we're doing. 16 shots in one period, definitely getting the chances. We just need to find the back of the net now.
That's really the long and short of it, to be perfectly honest. I agree with you on every point. Yeah, Kevin Carr for Buffalo State has just been absolutely phenomenal, stopping every single one of the 16 shots sent his way. Nick Horrigan only getting 9 shots, but nonetheless flawless himself. And so this is really what we were expecting. This is the kind of thing that you would expect out of a club like Buff State, who's really centered around that kind of defensive hockey. And now Geneseo, who have such a strong duo of goaltenders, really. I really can't complain about what happened there in that period. The Knights did everything right. Lots of pressure. Most of the presence was by them. And Buff State, they really looked like the same team that gave up 3 goals in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We just haven't been able to find the back of the net. Again, amazing goaltending by Carr. Really quickly on the Plattsburgh-Oswego game in Plattsburgh right now. At the end of one period, it's still a scoreless game. It's looking like an exact repeat of last game. If I remember right, it's around the same amount of shots on goal. It's really even right now. I mean, same amount of face-off wins and losses for both teams, and 1 penalty each. So it's looking pretty even over there in Plattsburgh right now.
Yeah, that's a very evenly matched game. I was expecting that. All three of the top 3 teams in the SUNYAC, Oswego, Plattsburgh, and Geneseo, remain in the playoffs. Their records are more or less the same. They all have 18 to 20 wins, and really Buff State is the underdog here. They only finished 500 in conference, and a couple of games under 500 overall. So this is a good thing for Buff State, I feel. They're able to hang with some very dominating clubs. The SUNYAC was a little lopsided this year, a little top-heavy, but Buff State was one of those few teams, that might have had a middling record, but they certainly have more talent than that. And I think, at least in the person of Kevin Carr, Geneseo is encountering that, and then some tonight.
Definitely. And I think for next period, definitely the advantage of having a power play for, even if it's only 11 seconds, it's a 5-on-3. We're going to have, Geneseo is going to have ice possession for 11 minutes and being able to most likely get that puck deep in the Buffalo State zone within the first couple seconds of the second period, and that will probably open up a good chance for a right-off-the-bat goal of the period, start of the period.
That would be a